Good Thursday morning. Here we go again. Temperatures are finally feeling better, but now it's snow we're facing again. Time lapse from this morning. The snow came on around 6 o'clock here in Rochester, and we had a couple of bursts of heavier activity, and now a little bit lighter snow at this hour as we look outside with our Gwaltney Group camera from Assisi Heights. Snow on the ground, a little more than half an inch. We actually, for a time here, have been dealing with grapple, little snow pellets. Falling from the sky, but for the most part looking at some small flakes and some accumulation. This is looking now live just after 8:30 on this Thursday morning. That's our Gwaltney Group camera from downtown Rochester. Yeah, a snowy situation, but at least we're above zero, right? Good morning, I'm meteorologist Ted Schmidt. Today, a snowier situation with temperatures now in the 20s. It'll be in the 20s today, and even tomorrow may even flirt with 30 a time or two in the next couple of days before we dive back into the really cold stuff. So it's a give or take, give and take. We have snow and 20s, or sun and zero. I mean, that's kind of the way it goes, and sadly, that's the pattern we're in right now. And as we move along into the weekend, it will be drier, but definitely feeling a lot colder. Right now, a snowy scene. Here is a look to the north with our Gwaltney Group camera right now. From Signal Hill at the studio, it's 22 in Rochester, Austin 27, Mason City 24. A little drier southward too. We'll see that on the radar in a moment. But here's a look at the situation here in the Med City. Kind of a brisk breeze, not strong winds though, but enough to knock that feels like temperature down to 10. Out of the southeast, 22. The current reading out of way to about 28 or so for a high here by early afternoon. Right now the wind chill levels, most of them in the low teens. Rochester 10, 12 in Mason City. 14 in Winona and 15 in Owatonna. Day planner, snow through noon, then drier for this afternoon. A little bit of a northwest breeze that's may knock the temperature down just a little bit, but a high around lunchtime at 28. That's when the snow comes to an end in the area. Rochester, about an inch or two is what we're facing now, a little more than half an inch on the ground right now. Snow continues to develop and lift to the northeast, but south of Interstate 90, notice that there's almost nothing happening, and it almost makes you wonder how much snow will accumulate in this area. So far, it's looking like none so far, but we may have at least some development as that area of low pressure gets a bit closer from the south and west. But certainly not much of the way of snowfall south of I-90, maybe half inch or less at this point. Morning snow for today, then tomorrow snow mainly in the afternoon. Maybe a similar situation, inch or two of accumulation. Beyond that, very little snow, but a lot of really cold conditions. So once you get done clearing the snow, you can take a break, but you want to take that break maybe inside because we have some pretty cold stuff headed our way once again. Maybe not quite as cold as some of the stuff we've had earlier this week, but still pretty chilly weather in the long run. 22 right now in Rochester, Des Moines 38. Wow, warm down there. 44 in Kansas City. Chicago 26, but there's the cold stuff north of us. On the north side of the system, it will be held up there for a couple of days. We'll have an active pattern today and tomorrow. These systems drawing at least warmer air, but beyond that, when things get less active, once that cold stuff will return. Snow through the morning, afternoon looks drier. Kind of a chilly northwest breeze. Temperatures by the end of the day in the low 20s. Snow on its way for maybe late tomorrow morning, and especially the afternoon, looking at an inch, maybe two of accumulation. A couple spots may even see a wintry mixture south in the area. And then again tomorrow night, perhaps a spot or two of freezing drizzle. But first thing Saturday, we see temperatures falling. We'll start off in the teens just before sunrise, and temperatures will fall into the single digits by evening. Some pretty raw winds on Saturday, and eventually cold high pressure comes in, bringing us finally some sun on Sunday, but barely above zero. Snow totals around the area, Rochester an inch or two. We look to the south, a sharp drop-off south of I-90, almost nothing to maybe as much as an inch south of Interstate 90, and then northward if you're up thinking about Wisconsin, or of course if you're in Lake City or Wabasha, up toward Vesa and Red Wing, 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches. The highest amounts in central and northern Wisconsin, where maybe 5 inches will accumulate between Rhinelander, Eau Claire, and Wausau. Totals around the area, depending on what model you look at, this is over the next 2 days, maybe even 3 days for some of these models, looking out to Sunday morning. Overall storm total from both these systems, quite a range, a half inch to, well, the GFS going really high. But I think what we're looking at here overall is 1 to 2 inches each day. So totals may reach 3 or 4 inches for some of us, but overall, mostly less than that. 28 today in Rochester, Preston 31. Mason City 34, light snow It's kind of a brisk breeze turning to the northwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, dropping off to the low teens, around 11, mostly cloudy with a lighter breeze. And then tomorrow, another inch or two in the afternoon and early evening, a lighter breeze out of the southeast, but 29 for your Friday. 7-day forecast, snow ends very early Saturday, and looks like just a blustery, cold, dry day. Temperatures dropping from the teens eventually to around 6 or 7 degrees, I think, by sunset, and below zero by Sunday morning. Highs only on the single digits Sunday. And then a system may graze us to the south on Monday. Maybe a slight chance of snow for North Iowa, but it looks like very little in the way of snowfall there in the afternoon. But that would be Monday, and most of next week feature at least some sun and single digits and teens for highs, maybe flirting with 20s by the end of next week, but a long stretch of drier but colder weather after today and tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe with the snow. Enjoy the relatively more comfortable temperatures, though. We're above zero and grateful to be there here for a while anyway. And have a great Thursday.